What's going on, you bunch of heathens? Today we are checking out Wolfpack by Sabaton. This is one I've been seeing for months now, I want to say, and I decided I'd finally get around to it. You know me, I like to jump around when it comes to Sabaton, so yeah. And we're not watching the official lyric today. We're actually watching a fan animation, which has 21 million views. So yeah, that's why I decided to check it out. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm sure I will. God knows I will. And yeah, let's jump in. Ooh. Dude, the sound of the sonar goes hard. I'm not sure if it's actually part of the song or not, but it goes hard. And God, yeah, this thing. I mean, if you look at my post section on my thing, I posted pictures of Yubo 505, I want to say it was. They're a lot bigger than you would think. God, what was I going to say? I'm blanking. Oh, from the thumbnail of this, I'm assuming that this is from the movie Greyhound, I think it was called. It was an Apple-only movie, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would totally watch that shit. Ooh. God, that shit's so cinematic. The look of ships breaking waves like this looks so cool.
To their own shore, came the World War, standing and leading the beauty west.
Dude, holy. Yo, fucking hands up cinema type shit. What the fuck? That was such a good, like, insert portions of the movie into it is so good.
To their own shore, came the World War, standing and leading the beauty west.
Oh, I don't know what it is. The little riff in there. That was really not tickled my brain. I love it when Sabaton tickles my brain.
Took a short way in, the long route back, Convoy 92. Furies and Inham leading, tankers to the west. And upon the North Atlantic, lie the silence of the sea. And on the quietest night, in the darkest hour, the Kriegsmarine appear. Above the surface, it seems quiet and calm. Deep down below, the Wolfpack lurks. No, no, no. To their own shore, came the World War, standing and leading the beauty west.
I like how slow this is, actually.
At the crack of dawn, the second day, Fury stands in flames. Half the convoy sunk or disabled, heading back to shore. But below the North Atlantic, on the bottom of the sea, for a second night, in the darkest hour, the Kriegsmarine returns. The Wolfpack surface for the second time. To make its fate. No, no, no. To the Lord shore, in the world war, leave standing and leading the beauty west. In their own track, can the Wolfpack please let the convoy into the hornet's nest. On the fire.
Dude, song sounds amazing, but I keep getting distracted by the movie. God, I want to watch this movie so bad. Oh my God. Like this movie, if you guys have seen it, let me know if it's worth it trying to find it. Because it looks so fucking good. God, leading them into death is such a crazy line. Ooh. Oh, that solo is so good. They always are. Wait, hold on. Did the guns match up with the beat? It did. Watch this again. Watch right here. The fucking beat match it. It matched up very slightly. I'm sure if it went on longer, it would have.
6-9 makes the contact and lead them. U-9 scores a kill in the dawn. 1-2-4 sinking 4 into approaches. 406 suffers failure on launch. U-569 makes the contact and lead them. U-9 scores a kill in the dawn.
Again, I really like it when they do their chanting shit.
406 suffers failure on launch again. In their own track, came the Wolfpack, please let the convoy into the hornet's nest. To their own shore, came the world war, please and the leading the beauty west. In their own track, came the Wolfpack, please let the convoy into the hornet's nest. Under fire, underwater, May 42, and beauty did pay the test. To their own shore, came the world war, please and leading them into death. To their own works, waiting down below.
All the layering of the lyrics. Opening shit to drop. Oh, direct hit. Oh shit! Some of the CGI in that looked a bit off, but fuck me, like that was good. I didn't really say a whole honestly, a lot of this was just me praising the movie, but God, that song is really good. I like the slowness of it. Honestly, the slowness really sold the song for me. It sounded really good. And hats off to the dude who made this, by the way. Give this shit a like. Hats off to him. He killed the fucking video. All right, we're jumping straight into the history now. Stick around for it.
One of the enduring images of the Second World War is that of the German U-boats,
who would hunt in wolf packs.
Oh. So no, was that just in general part? Ooh, that was so the rest of it wasn't, but that, oh, that's cool then, if that's actually part of the story.
the effect.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of wish when it came to their what's it called, their lyric videos, instead of like the little animations, I really wish they just put old history footage on
The
them.
German submarines, U-boats, was a major shock to the British Royal Navy back during the Great War. So it was not surprising that in the Peace Treaty of Versailles, Germany would not be allowed to have any submarines, and its navy was greatly reduced in size. In fact, the potential of the submarine as a weapon seemed such a possible threat to Britain's imports, and thus its economical survival, that there were some British politicians trying to ban submarines in general. In Germany, the U-boat crews and commanders were well respected as heroes of the Great War. So it's no wonder that even
Yeah,
as
it was
early
kind
as
of a shit job.
1922, they secretly
And they
kept
did really
tabs
well.
on the further developments of the submarine. In 1935, when Adolf Hitler felt strong enough politically to openly proclaim the rearmament of the German Wehrmacht, Admiral Erich Raeder began building a modern, new U.
1960. So he lived. Huh. I don't. This dude must have come up before at some point, but the name is not ringing a bell for me.
He envisioned a large submarine fleet. According to him, their true potential had been wasted in the Great War because Germany was unable to produce enough of them to be really effective. But to his dismay, not only the Anglo-German naval agreement, but also Hitler's own visions of mighty battleships and aircraft carriers seriously limited his options. So Raeder tasked the acclaimed submarine captain from the Great War, now Admiral Karl Dönitz, to do the best he could with what he had at hand.
I vaguely know that name.
By the outbreak of the Second World War, the Kriegsmarine had only 39 frontline submarines available. Dönitz and Raeder agreed that such a small force couldn't achieve much.
Which is kind of, I don't want to say funny, but funny when you think about it. Hitler wanted the big battleships and whatnot. But weren't the U-boats the most successful thing about the German Navy?
Especially if Hitler kept insisting
I want to say it was.
on playing by the rules of prize regulations. By late 1940, though, even after the Führer switched to all-out submarine warfare, only 13 new U-boats had been commissioned, not even enough to replace their losses. And the Royal Navy was turning to the Convoy system faster than expected. After the sinking of the passenger liner Athenia and the battleship Royal Oak, right in the Navy's backyard at Scapa Flow, the British government insisted on grouping together large numbers of merchant ships that were to be escorted by the Royal Navy in convoys. The convoy system had been the major counter to the German submarines in the Great War. And now Admiral Dönitz sought to overcome that problem by concentrating his submarines in the same way. The idea of the Wolfpack was born.
Which, yeah, honestly, if you think about it, the whole name Wolfpack, I mean, it's a pack of wolves hunting sheep, and then you have, like, the sheepdogs. And then what's funny is in reprisal, it's not necessarily the word I'm looking for. Because of that, the Allies proceeded to make hunter-killer groups, which is another funny name, because you think about it, you're hunting the killers. I'm sure it's very fucking obvious, but I just find that funny. Or cool.
If Germany wanted
cool
to
play
bring
on
Britain
words.
to its knees, they had to win the tonnage war. They simply had to sink more ships and cargo than the British could reproduce. But it was a slow process. During the Norwegian campaign, the submarines had faulty torpedoes, which repeatedly jeopardized their missions. Even when in perfect position to take a shot, the German torpedoes could simply fail to explode or to find their target.
To be fair, from what I know, that was also a fairly decent issue with U.S., at least I know U.S. torpedoes as well, was faulty fuses, like they wouldn't explode. Like shit like that, I know that was also an issue with U.S. torpedoes.
This was not only really frustrating, but also dangerous to the then exposed submarines. German scientists then came up with magnetic triggers instead of impact fuses, which would detonate in the range of the vessels. By 1940, with the comfort of the French ports after the Battle of France, which eliminated the time-consuming transit into the Atlantic, and increase the effectiveness of the submarines by shortening repair times, the Wolfpack seemed to be ready. Convoys heading out from Canada towards the British Isles were the first to fall prey to the new tactics. Like a real pack of wolves, the first vessel that located the convoy would inform the others of its coordinates via radio transmission and continue to shadow it. The commander of the group would come up with a plan of approach and coordinate the coming attack from his own submarine. Then, when in a favorable position, the Wolfpack would strike. If the convoy was not strongly protected, or if a smaller group was separated by the rest by bad weather or whatever, they engaged the enemy. If not, they waited for the dark of night. U-boats were hard to detect in any case.
God, they really did go for the whole wolf
of the Royal Navy. But under
motif
cover of the night,
and
after
usage.
silently surfacing, they would be silhouetted by their commanders against the dark horizon or against a strong wind, making detection many times harder. Then they would strike, usually firing 3 or 4 or all torpedo tubes one after the other to minimize the risk of torpedo failure affecting targeting. The convoy's armed escort ship would usually react to the first attacker, which had to dive and take evasive action. But that led to the disruption of the convoy's formation. As the convoy reacted, the second submarine would attack, hitting the group from a different angle, then evade and give another submarine the chance to shine. This way, they could maybe sink 5, 6, or even 7 ships at one approach and get away without losing a sub. If each convoy lost around 10% of its merchant ships this way, Britain would indeed lose the tonnage war. In fact, some early convoy losses were so high that British High Command kept the numbers from the public to avoid panic. And
they really fucking did
results, Raeder and Dönitz were optimistic that by enlarging the submarine fleet, tonnage victory was theirs for the taking. Britain could
number
not
on them. I don't know
use
why
its
I'm
mighty
blanking.
navy to guard against invasion and protect its merchant fleet at the same time, could they? But once more, their pleas fell on deaf ears. This time, it was Germany's favorite uniform fetishist, Hermann Goering, who has the...
Yeah, that's the one. Not the one thing. Yeah. I know him for the uniform.
man who divided the resources favored his Luftwaffe over the Navy. Once more, the full potential of the Wolfpacks could not be unleashed. Still, from June 1940 to March 1941, the German submarine fleet inflicted heavy losses on the convoys. But once the threat of a German invasion of Britain really faded, then the British began catching up with them. They outfitted their ships with air-to-surface radar systems, began using naval aircraft more efficiently in general, and organized hunting groups equipped with depth charges. Mid-1941 was a real low point for the German Navy, as many of its submarine aces, those with 5 or more kills, were themselves killed or sunk by the new aggressiveness of the British escorts. The exchange rate went to 5 British ships for 1 German submarine, and that was not sustainable for Germany. The Wolfpacks were still deadly, they just now had to be carefully deployed. Radio communication and coordination were key for that game, and as long as the...
I mean, to be fair, that's also not a great... I mean, yeah, there's less of them, so they had to be more careful. But at the same time, it's also just not a great exchange rate for the British either. 5 of our big-ass ships takes 5 of our big-ass ships to destroy 1 of their submarines. It's kind of crazy.
Failed to crack their codes. The Wolfpacks were indeed invisible in their approach. But then, the British cracked their codes. Unknown to the Kriegsmarine, the capture of U-110 led to the cracking of the German coding machine Enigma at Bletchley Park, which now allowed the British to have a comprehensive picture of the German submarine deployment. 1942 began with a new British confidence that the Wolfpacks would soon be tamed or skinned. However, now that the U.S. had joined the war, increasing transatlantic traffic was cause for new headaches, and Dönitz had shifted his attention further westward to intercept as much of that traffic as possible. On May 6, 1942, convoy ON-92, outbound from Britain to North America, 42 ships strong, left Liverpool, guarded by the destroyer Gleaves, the cutter Ingham, and 4 Canadian corvettes. It was
cool,
a
Canadians.
rather ill-equipped and inexperienced convoy. Only HMS Barry carried a high-frequency direction finder, and only one other ship was equipped with a 10-centimeter radar system. To save as much time as possible, they took the Great Circle route, the shortest and most direct line across the North Atlantic, but also the most predictable.
Took a short way in, the long route back, Convoy 92. Euroclears and Inham leading, tankers to the west. And upon the North Atlantic lies silence of the seas. And on the quietest
God, the song just sounds so good.
the Kriegsmarine appear.
It did not take long for the Germans to intercept their radio traffic. On May 11th, U-569 spotted the convoy and alerted the rest of its pack.
God,
Wolfpack
I gotta stop
heavy
yawning.
Pike was soon in pursuit. The Berry was quick to realize that they were being shadowed, and not only by U-569, but also at least 2 other submarines. Now, a convoy
Scary.
usually had at least 2 basic options: to send out a hunting party in the hopes of driving the submarines away, or to quickly take evasive action and outrun them. Neither was really a possibility here, though, as the escorts were too few and the convoy too slow. And the somewhat outdated system of the Berry could only give a vague fix on enemy positions, and that position was closing in on them as night fell.
A really
The
shit
Gleaves
position to be
decided
in.
on a daring move, chasing U-569 alone. This, however, was just what the Wolfpack had hoped for. Just after the Gleaves left, shortly before midnight, U-124 approached the convoy from the south, successfully torpedoing 2 of the outside ships, the Empire Dell and Lanover cargo vessels. The other ships fired illumination flares, hoping to catch the attacker. But that only diverted attention from U-94, who
Oh,
promptly
fuck.
sank the cargo ship Coco. Shortly after that, U-124 made a second run through the convoy undetected, sinking both the steamer Mount Perez and the Cristales cargo ship.
God, the tactics used is so fucking cool. Like, holy, like, that's so fucking smart to do. And it's so hard to defend against because, shit, these 2 ships just got blown up. Send up illumination rounds so we see if we can find them. But in doing so, you distract your other ships so that way the other person, the other fucking sub in the Wolfpack can attack, does that distracts them again, and so that way the original attacker can go undetected again. Like, that's so
With 5
good.
ships reported sinking or burning, the Gleaves quickly came rushing back. The next morning, the Gleaves and the corvettes, who had spent their time rescuing sailors from sinking ships, had an easier time preventing the Wolfpack from emerging in broad daylight. But then their luck ran out. Their
Overcast.
evasive maneuvers led them into a storm,
Oh,
and also into the
Close
path
enough.
of U-94, who was waiting for them. During the storm that night,
You got-
U-94 torpedoed at least
they got fucking herded into the fucking 3rd U-boat. That's insane.
but possibly 2 merchant ships, the British Batna and the Swedish Tolkien. Having lost 7
Hey.
ships now, the convoy was a shambles. But the Wolfpack was running out of fuel and torpedoes, so Dönitz called his pack back home, pleased with the results. The Allies realized that despite their earlier successes and improvements, the Wolfpacks were very much still alive and very much still dangerous. And German naval command gained new hope that the Battle of the Atlantic was a long way from being over.
God, I keep yawning. Sorry. And sorry for not talking a whole bunch.
For this song, we hadn't really decided on, Primo Victoria being about military history.
Yes, also, as I just said, sorry I'm not talking a whole lot. I don't know a whole lot about this, so it's like, oh, I'm taking it in. It's like, oh, this is super interesting to talk about, hear about. But because I don't really know anything, I can't really speak. I know you guys say you don't mind. I do because I'd like to at least provide some kind of commentary. So, yeah.
Okay.
And this Primo
So,
Victoria, got it.
originally, this one had a totally different lyric. I don't think I've
And they said, Primo Victoria, that's their first album, I want to say. Isn't it?
ever talked about this actually, but the idea was about man or mankind being the ultimate predator. So if I remember correctly, the lyrics would start, "From the Rhine fall to the Great Wall, man, Mother Nature's ultimate predator." I can't remember exactly. Something along
2005,
those lines,
okay.
And
I mean, also 2005, and I was listening to this, from the Rhine Fall to the Great Wall, man,
Nature's ultimate predator. I can't remember exactly.
that is an
Something
insane
along
line.
those
I
lines,
love that line.
And I think I'd gotten pretty far. I was halfway through the lyrics, but as we then had the music to Prima Victoria, me and Per thought we needed something big. So we decided on D-Day for Prima Victoria. All of a sudden, it clicked. It made sense for us. You know, it was interesting to sing about military history. It had a huge and epic sound to it. So we thought, we can't sing about beer and riding motorcycles or, you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll and that stuff. And I mean, this was 2004 when we recorded that album. And we thought, hell yeah, let's do it.
Well, there are an awful lot of songs about
That's
beer
cool.
and sex and drugs and rock and roll, and there's not a whole lot of songs about, you know, U-boat Wolfpacks, for example.
No.
So you do.
Yeah, imagine
nobody
that.
can accuse you of like, oh, another song. Oh, you like beer? Well, so does everybody else who writes a song about beer. There's not a whole lot of songs about people that hate beer.
Oh no,
You don't see that from metal bands. I hate beer.
That
It's
was,
interesting. The
oh, that was kind of dirty putting that fucking riff in there.
The original lyrics were about man as the ultimate predator, and of course, war is an expression of that as the ultimate predator. But is man really the ultimate predator? Because we do have there is one other apex predator that is likely as deadly as man.
Please don't say beer.
No. Okay, two.
I love that little
Please don't say beer.
No.
fucking zoom in on him. That's so fucking funny.
Two. No, the mosquito.
Oh yeah.
Mosquito kills an awful lot of human beings. I mean, between just malaria alone. I mean, so do you have any songs about mosquitoes?
Not yet.
Well, I mean, they'd actually have to go to war. Interesting.
Ooh.
I wonder.
From the animal kingdom, we could do the Great Emu War in Australia.
You could, but there's also plenty of animals
Yeah, but that was like 3 guys with a couple fucking machine guns against a bunch of
that
emus.
somehow played parts in human wars and things like that, or even diseases.
Bear
Like,
Wojtek in Monte Cassino.
there you go.
Sergeant Reckless would also be a cool fucking one.
Oh, and I was thinking, of course, I mean, think of all the soldiers and civilian stuff that died.
Like, and I don't, in the Polish bear, very famous, obviously. Sergeant Reckless, famous because, I mean, she was famous beforehand, obviously, but more so known wider now, I would say probably, especially on the YouTube side, because of Bad Electrician. Sergeant Reckless song would go kind of hard.
Flu, although that's not an animal, it's an influenza, and of course that affects war. The
Spanish
spread of sleeping sickness and malaria and other insect-borne diseases, or smallpox, which was the what?
I don't know what we should do. We should do a special about gin tonic. And
Yeah,
why tonic with
why
the-
we have quinine.
Mhm.
So okay,
For a future episode, it will be.
it's going to be a special episode about gin and tonics. We're not going to spoil it now.
No.
We're going
They're
to be
just gonna-
drinking gin and tonics.
I was about to say, just gonna be just slinging back gin and tonics the entire time,
Absolutely.
sloshed.
Okay.
Next time.
Well, thank you for that enlightening story about how you really began writing all the military history things, and of course, Wolfpack being one of the first. And guess what?
It's over.
It is over, but
Chicken butt.
Sabaton History will be back in exactly 7 days.
See you then.
See you next
I love Sabaton History.
All right, everyone.
I stand by this. Sabaton, the history portion, I stand by, is my favorite part of these videos. Like, don't get me wrong, songs are fucking phenomenal and whatnot, but there is just something different about, there's just something different about the, I'm like blanking. There's something different about the history sections that I just love to death. I don't know what it is. Either way, check out the originals. They're linked below. Go give them their love. Like, comment, subscribe to this. Check out the other playlists on the channel. I have a lot more Sabaton if you haven't checked them out. And I have other history reactions, and I have a bunch of reactions on here you may like. Yeah, until next time, you guys take care of yourselves. See ya.